Good afternoon, this is your 4 o'clock news with me, Samantha Lucas.
And me, Hannah Warren.
This morning we had shocking news of a terrorist attack in New Zealand. Our reporter Jack O'Flaherty is here to tell us more. Jack, what's the latest?
So now it has been confirmed that 49 people have been killed on an attack in 2 separate mosques in Christchurch. The attacks first began at 1:40 p.m. local time. It wasn't until 4 p.m. that the suspect was in custody. I spoke to Dr. Ifram Malik. He is the Vice President of Nottingham's chapter of Ahmadiyya Muslims, and this is what he had to say.
It was a very shocking to hear the news of the attacks on the 2 mosques in Christchurch in New Zealand. It was the first news this morning, and we're very shocked. And our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families and the injured as well. It's a time for prayers and support. But we want to stand united against all forms of extremism and terrorism. And an attack on one community is the attack on everybody, really.
Has there been anything in Nottingham?
Yeah, so Nottinghamshire Police have released a statement on the matter. They said that while there is no increased threat to the UK for an attack like this, they are taking extra precautions and will be increasing police presence around Nottingham's mosques.
Thank you, Jack. Bus fares will be rising next month. It will be the second time they've gone up in Nottingham this year. Rumbo O has more.
Recently, Nottingham City Transport has announced its fare increase for the rest of the year. Starting from March the 31st, most tickets will cost 10% more. According to the NCT, they made this decision mainly because of the increasing price of diesel. This is the first increase and can be the last for this year. People in Nottingham share their opinions. Some are not satisfied with it.
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest, because obviously it keeps going up, and I think it happened last year as well, and it just seems to be up and up and up. And
diesel, petrol, everything's going up. So, yeah, no, I haven't got a problem with it.
I think it becomes difficult for students especially to get in and out and around town.
It's mostly a student city. It's not fair for them to increase the price that we already paid for it.
As long as they use it wisely and they invest it in keeping the buses in the small routes that haven't got any now, it should be okay.
This fare increase not only affects the paper ticket, but also the online app. In the announcement, NCT said it will cancel the discount on NCTX bus app, since they can absorb the processing payment on the app compared to cash price. Although the NCT did not talk to the camera directly, NCT marketing manager Anthony Carver-Smith said that the extra fare will be used in lowering emissions and improving ticketing technologies. And for passengers who often need to take bus, he suggests they could buy 1-day ticket or 5-day tickets in advance, since this ticket price will not change. Rumbo reports for CBJ News.
A former gang member from St Anne's is using boxing to help prevent young people being dragged into a life of crime. Marcellus Baz has set up Nottingham School of Boxing with youth charity Switch Up. Holly Auburn reports.
Welcome the Get Inspired Unsung Hero for 2016, Marcellus Baz.
Meet Marcellus Baz.
Yeah, I'm just humbled, privileged and honoured to be here today. Speechless really, but I'd just like to say a massive thank you.
He started boxing at a young age, which was cut short due to choosing the life of crime.
I spent a lot of my time on the streets, and when I was on the streets I was seeing people that I thought were positive role models, like, were selling drugs and having nice cars and nice clothes and nice girls. And I thought, wow, as a young, impressionable boy, I thought, I want to follow these guys. They seem to have got it all stitched up.
But one day, after winning a boxing tournament, that all changed.
I came back to celebrate, and I ended up bumping into some rival gang members that pulled a machete out and went for my head with it. I put my hands up to protect myself and hacked through both my hands. I ended up in hospital. I died for a minute.
Now he's fighting back to make a change. Marcellus set up the Nottingham School of Boxing, which keeps young adults off the streets and out of crime. It gives young people a safe environment to control their anger and aggression. The School of Boxing in St Anne's has even had some surprise visits from boxing legend Anthony Joshua to having England's very own royals, Prince Harry and Prince William. The school gets referrals from youth offending, probation and social services.
So the thing about Switch Up and the Nottingham School of Boxing is that the people there, a lot of them, have been through bad times themselves. They've been in difficult situations. They've been in trouble with the police. They've been to court. And what it shows is that by changing your behaviour, you can change your lifestyle and you can make yourself and other people a better person.
Boxing can benefit mentally as well as physically and is a chance for youngsters to develop their social skills. Using sport is just one way we can knock gang crime out of the UK. This is Holly Auburn for CBJ News.
Hundreds of students and young people have been in Market Square in Nottingham today to protest about climate change. CBJ's Hannah Warren has more.
Students all over Nottingham came together to strike from school to demand action on climate change. Over 300 people arrived in Trinity Square to begin the protest march to Old Market Square.
We organised this because we as the youth are frustrated by government's inaction over climate change, and we wanted to show that we're going to channel our frustration into positive protests and try and make a difference. We have 4 demands. The first is to declare a climate change emergency, and then the second is to implement that in policies. We want them to focus on the Paris Agreement, which they did agree to, but currently are not reaching.
Organisers of the strikes have met with major political leaders, having left many young people frustrated at the government for not tackling the issue.
Change the way you think! We are the free! Change the way you think! We are...
I'm here because I think it's our generation's right to protest against what this government's doing. We need to stand up and protect this environment. This government's not done enough and they need to be held to account. And no one's saying it, so this is why these protests are happening now, because it's time to say it. Invest more in public transport. Stop cutting public transport and invest in it. Get more people taking buses, more people cycling. Invest in the trains.
Well, the government needs to invite students into Parliament. The government needs to call. We're calling on being carbon neutral by 2030. Nottingham City Council has called it in their manifesto for the local elections by 2028, which I think is fabulous. But we need councils around the country to either change their policy or declare a state of climate emergency.
Doorstop crime and scams are costing the UK nearly £7 billion a year, according to the UK Finance, who represent banking firms. It is over the 65s who are most at risk. Nottingham City Council is trying to raise awareness of this problem.
We're going live to our financial correspondent, Shauna Samuels from the newsroom. Can you tell us a bit about how the City Council has been trying to combat doorstop crime, as targeted specifically towards the elderly?
Yes, so Age Friendly Nottingham put on a free seminar this week to teach the elderly about how to stay safe against scams. Now, according to Age UK, over 5 million people over the age of 65 have been victim to scams across the UK. Now, doorstep crime specifically involves when an individual comes to your home and offers to do a range of services, including gardening or paving, for a small fee. However, the elderly individual is often conned out of thousands of pounds and left in a very difficult situation. Now, trading standards are aware of this problem.
Worked on an investigation where there was a lady who was, or is, bedbound, and she's confined to her front living room. She actually wanted a gardener to carry out some work on her garden and around the back of the property. And she found somebody who said he was a good gardener, and they agreed a price of somewhere in the region of £500 to get everything nicely tidied up for her. And over a period of 6 months, he actually took £7,000 from her.
What advice are trading standards giving to the elderly to stay safe?
Trading standards are encouraging the elderly that if they are approached, to don't feel afraid to check and also see the identification of the trader. They should also not feel pressured into handing over any money up front. Now, if the elderly individual still feels a bit insecure about the person entering their home, they should contact 999 or alternatively the Citizens Advice Service by calling them at 0345 04 05 06.
Thanks for that, Shauna. 2017 saw YouTube start to take down rap music videos that were deemed to be glorifying crime. Since then, black rappers' music videos on YouTube have decreased by an estimated 20%. CBJ's Joshua Pedro went to see the effects this is having on independent black rap artists.
Getting stopped in search for being black is the same way. There's more chance of you getting discredited for your video or, you know, looked upon, stereotyped in a different way for being black. Like, this is the world we live in, innit? Like, it's never gonna die.
2017, the Metropolitan Police and YouTube collaborated together to take down rap music videos which were deemed to be too violent, with the aim of minimising gang violence. Since then, over 30 rap artists have been removed from YouTube, as well as 60 rap videos. Police have also been increasingly stopping music video shoots.
Well, we was on top of Crown Plaza one time, and you know, just trying to do something positive, trying to do a nice little music video, but then they shut that down as well, told us to come out. But like, you know what I'm saying, it's like we was up there selling drugs or something, the way they was moving. Well, I don't know, it's sad, but like, it's something that we know is gonna happen, so we just try to work around it and laugh about it, really. There's no point in getting upset.
To many fans of the underground rap scene, police are targeting black artists when taking down their music videos. But to some, the taking down of rap videos is one way of presenting crime and spreading the wrong messages to the younger generation.
It half influences the younger youth to not commit crimes, but just some of these videos like glorify it. So I feel like having it taken off makes them realise it's not really a way of getting out that life.
Independent artists view YouTube as the most effective way to get exposure, but with more and more videos being taken down, there's a growing belief that the police are stifling the creators that allow the music industry to grow.
I think it needs to change for definite. If we want this music scene to move, whether it maybe like grime, pop, or whatever it may be, and if we want it to move, we're gonna have to stop all of this, to be honest, because it ain't gonna go nowhere. Without us lot, really and truly, the scene ain't gonna go nowhere, because we're the heartbeat of every genre that's happening right now.
With police figures showing that offences have risen 14% in the last year, it is yet to be seen whether taking down and preventing music videos of the underground rap scene is the right way to tackle crime. But for rappers such as Cali, they'll be hoping that this isn't the case. This is Joshua Pedro, Nottingham, CBJ News.
The level of knife crime in Nottingham has risen in the past year, but one community group is doing its bit to get young people off the streets. Callum Carthy has this report.
This is Ben Rosser, a former policeman here in Nottingham. Ben set up local community group The Python Club back in 2014 as he was frustrated with the police force being reactive to problems in the area rather than proactive. The group encourages young people in Nottingham to keep away from crime on the streets and challenge their energy into sport, music and theatre. The Python Club puts on boxing training and provides members with gloves and equipment to use whilst they train here at the new Basford Community Centre. Earlier this week, the club came second in the National Crime Beats Awards for their work in fighting knife crime, substance abuse, antisocial behaviour and vandalism. As well as giving young people a safe place to express themselves, it's provided people like Sam with jobs. And after being named runners-up at the National Crime Beats Awards, Ben and the club's work has been commended by FIFA, who they worked with, to make this promotional video.
We've got young people that are now leading the way within our communities. They've dropped down the knife, yeah, they've changed their pattern. It has to be young people led. Listen, I could talk to them blue in the face, and trust me, I'll get young people in. But it takes young people to change it as well. Peers change peers, young people change young people's hearts and minds. So it's going to be our young people that need it to change how we are at the moment within our communities, but we can get there.
Despite the work of groups like the Python Club, Nottingham is still one of the worst affected areas by knife crime. In the last year, knife crime has risen by a massive 17% nationally and risen by 11% in Nottingham alone.
A number of things are happening. Outside London, we're the only knife crime team in the country, and they stop and search people working on intelligence. and they're highly successful. We're in the middle of a week of a knife crime amnesty at the moment. When we did it last year, about 450 knives came in. We've got police officers working in all secondary schools.
Callum Carthy, CBJ News, Nottingham.
And last night, Active Knots hosted their annual Getting Active Together Awards. The event celebrated the achievements of community groups, clubs and individuals across Nottingham and Nottinghamshire who are helping to make physical activity the norm. All the nominees were voted for by the public.
What's here to celebrate those individuals or community organisations who are really helping to deliver on helping to people be a little bit more active. And it's about understanding about communities and people and place and what they can do to really embed what we're trying to do across the county, really. And that can form all guises. It can be around, you know, the local football club and coaches around there, but likewise it can be about a walking group or about a gardening project or something like that.
A sustainable shop has opened in Nottingham. It hopes to tackle food and rubbish waste in the city. Gina Mendo has more.
A new shop has opened its doors in Nottingham Malt Cross in the city centre, but you'll see 0 plastic bags in here. This plastic-free shop, Shop Zero, has recently launched, inviting customers to fill up their own containers or reusable paper bags provided with food items such as rice, pasta, lentils and cereal. With successful monthly pop-up shops last year, Sarah Malloy and her husband have decided to expand and create their very own shop.
I think it's our job as consumers to get empowered, really, and to get information. And one of the big things, the kind of ethos I've got in the shop, is I'm thinking really carefully about what I put in here, because it's quite a big deal. So I like to think that within the shop here, I've taken a little bit of that away from people, because I've been able to put the thought in, I've been able to work with suppliers. Where are they sourced? What is the impact here? So I've taken that little bit away from it. And I think as we become more connected back to our environment, it's important for us to understand where our impacts are.
Grand opening of the store held last Friday by owner Sarah attracted many in this new way of living. Shop Zero is one of the few in Nottingham offering a environmentally friendly, sustainable lifestyle and new shopping experience. A sustainable lifestyle is a lifestyle that attempts to reduce an individual's or society's use of Earth's natural resources, and with shops like this it is clear that a sustainable lifestyle is becoming the new wave. With estimated 8 million tonnes of plastic waste entering our oceans each year, and new research explaining that there's so much CO2 in the atmosphere that even planting trees can no longer save us, it's very urgent for shops like this to help people change their way of life.
I work with the Environment Agency. I work on pollution to land, air and water. So I have a really keen interest on reducing pollution across the environment. I've never seen a pop-up shop in Nottingham. I've heard of them in London. I think they're really good. If this one carries on, I'll definitely use it on a regular basis.
Though this is a very big goal for Sarah, she hopes that one day she will go out of business due to sustainable shopping becoming more mainstream. Gina Mendo, CBJ News, Nottingham.
Inspirational Women in Nottingham have been celebrated at an awards ceremony organised by the City Council. Nara Casamino has more.
May be fighting for equality and empowerment with men, but these Nottinghamshire women have been judged by the public as inspirational for their efforts and achievement of gender equality.
Women aren't celebrated enough, no, so that's one thing we're trying to do tonight, and help people celebrate each other, because I say women will never celebrate themselves, so we have to keep shouting about other women that we know are great, and we need to shine a light on that.
Award winners were glad to have won on behalf of their charities and are hopeful for the future as they continue to work hard for justice.
I'm really glad to win this award tonight on behalf of the Rights Lab, which is the world's largest group of modern slavery scholars and researchers, and we're working to end slavery by 2030 because there are 40 million people enslaved today. 70% of them are women, but we think it's within our grasp to actually end this within our lifetime, including right here in the UK.
Lots of women point in the direction of where to go in the law, things to do, to to help them and also how to educate themselves to get justice.
I started working at the Centre Place 15 years ago. I started as a volunteer there, working with young parents on a young parents project. That was something that was really personal to me and I was really passionate about. As a young parent myself, I struggled. I was pregnant at 16 and ended up as a young single mum on benefits, living on a council estate in a really deprived area, and I found that really challenging and really difficult, and what I wanted to do was to support and help other young parents that found themselves in a similar situation.
The night ended on a high note as everyone celebrated with each other. Nara Casimiro reports for CBJ News.
Have you ever dreamt of leaving your day job to work for yourself? It's a big step, but one woman from Hucknall has done just that and is now celebrating her first birthday in business. Eleanor Lee has more.
For Caroline Mason, this is a standard day at the office. She's just celebrated the first birthday of her yoga company, Caroline Inspired, by opening her very own yoga studio in Hucknall. But Caroline hasn't always been practicing the downward dog. She had to take a gamble and leave her 9 to 5 in order to follow her dreams.
I was a natural primary school teacher, been doing that for 8 years, kind of fell out of love with the job. I was really unhappy. And it was just, my husband said to me, he knew I was unhappy and was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I really like my yoga. And he's like, well, just quit then. And it was literally like, not as simple as that, but I was just like, yeah, I'm going to quit and be a yoga teacher.
Self-employment is on the rise, with over 15,000 people in Nottingham alone owning their own business. Although it's a difficult leap to take, there's lots of help on offer in the city for those entrepreneurs that dream of ditching the day job.
Yeah, it's a hard decision, I think, and generally those sorts of people that decide that, they've been thinking about it for a while. So while they're still employed, they're thinking through their own creative business idea, and people come to us with sometimes just that initial idea, and they've thought it through, and we will help them to develop it.
But how do you take a tiny dream and turn it into a fully functioning business?
So I started off just doing 2 classes a week, and then that grew and grew, and then I thought, next step is to have my own studio and create my own space, a really nice space for people to come where they feel calm and relaxed. And that's hopefully what I've created here.
So it seems that taking the leap to follow your dream, just like Caroline, can sometimes pay off. Eleanor Lee, CBJ News, Nottingham.
A Nottinghamshire nursery where children spend a lot of time outdoors has been rated outstanding by Ofsted for the second time. Yasmin Turpney has more.
A nursery where children are encouraged to put on their coats and spend time playing outside in the garden with the animals on site has been given the highest possible grade by Ofsted after its inspection on the 25th of January. Bingham Day Nursery in Longacre has 84 children on roll and has been running for the past 39 years. It was judged to be outstanding back in 2013 and since then has been eager to receive another star rating by inspectors. Rebecca Billsborough, the early years teacher, spoke about the approaches that they take to receive this recognition.
It's just everything that we do, our ethos, so we try and get the children out as much as we can do because we know it's really good for their development, even from the babies. If they learn to walk in the outside, it's better than learning to walk inside because they can learn balance and things like that. The children learn lots of transferable skills by being outside, but equally inside we try and reflect a new approach that we're following called the curiosity approach. So we use lots of authentic resources, such as china teacups and sets when we do role play, as well as just having good old-fashioned teaching the children manners and respect, and all that mixed together with the wonderful array of staff that we've got just works.
Children aged up to 5 years old are surrounded by rabbits, ducks and even Delboy the pig, who is on site in the woodland area where the children are able to make dens, roast marshmallows and have story time. Nursery owner and manager Dina Hardy spoke about what the nursery would do to remain outstanding for future inspections.
Well, we're always looking at what we can do differently, any new initiatives. I won't say we take them all on board, but we certainly look at what is coming through. Generally speaking, it comes from abroad. It doesn't come from this country. So a lot of the things come from Europe, and, you know, they've got the right idea out there. They keep the children as children for the first 7 years of their life. They get to play and really make the most of that time when their brain is expanding.
Bingham Day Nursery hopes to keep up this standard for their next inspection by Ofsted in 2023. Yasmin Turkmani, CBJ News, Bingham.
In sport, Nottingham Forest will take on Ipswich Town on Saturday. Ipswich have lost their last 4 games against the Reds. Notts County will play Morecambe tomorrow and Mansfield Town will play Lincoln on Monday.
Strong winds in Nottingham have been causing problems for most of us, but one place has been benefiting from Storm Gareth. Last week, Green Windmill in Sneinton milled a whopping 834 kilograms of flour, all of which is organic and sold on site. CBJ's Rebecca Newman-Matthews went down to find out more.
The weather right now is perfect. We've got Storm Gareth battering the UK at the moment with gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour. So perfect weather for milling, great for us. We're crashing through a load of flour, probably not great for anyone else.
Green's Windmill in Sneinton is a fully functioning flour mill after being restored in the 1980s. When weather conditions are right, the windmill sets sail.
On a windy day like today, I will have the mill running. So we need at least 15 mile an hour wind speeds for that to happen. So on a day like today, I'll come in first thing, get the sails set, and then basically get all the grain I need upstairs, either by carrying it on my shoulder or on the chains, and put it in the hoppers ready to go. Take the brake off after I've set the sails, and away it goes, really. Every day is different. Sometimes I'll be milling flour like I am today. Sometimes I'll be filling in lots of paperwork. Sometimes, if we've got no volunteers in, I'll be sat down in the shop serving customers. All of the flour sales happen from our shop here. We do have sort of local home bakers and small-scale bakeries that order regularly from us.
Although Andrew is now the miller at Green's Windmill, it all began 6 years ago when he started working on site as a volunteer.
Green's Windmill is largely run by volunteers. In fact, they're the cornerstone of our organisation. Without them, we'd even struggle to open, never mind run all the events that we do. So if you'd like to get involved in a local landmark and learn a bit of history, then please do get in touch. We're always looking for volunteers.
Opening times are Wednesday to Sunday, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. and entry is free. Rebecca Newman-Matthews, CBJ News.
Honestly, the wind almost blew me off my feet this morning.
Oh,
Sam.
I know, the same. Do you know what the weather will be like this weekend?
Well, today is actually expected to be windy, but a sunny day. Today will be cloudy with spells of rain, becoming lighter throughout the night. This weekend will be windy again with chances of rain.
That's all for now. We hope you don't blow away too much this weekend.
You can keep up to date with us at CBJ News.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.